Shalom, call hello, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elder that came before them that taught us the truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers pushing the word, truth, and sincerity, the hopeful elect. Tabernacle of David, all right? I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the WW3 Daily Update, and welcome to you. All right, and that's right. It starts with an earthquake. Aeroplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid, right? It's the end, all right? I figured I'd read this. 1 Peter 4:7, but the end of all things is at hand. End of what thing? The end of the world as we know it. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. All right, what is this? Let's get that real quick. I know I'm going off script right now. Let's see. The end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Sung by REM. And here's the first words of the lyric. That's great. It is great. It starts with an earthquake. What earthquake? I'll show you. That's right. It starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes and aeroplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. What do you mean it's what? The end of the world as we know it starts with an earthquake. What earthquake? This earthquake. Revelation 11 and 12. Or 11, is it 13? What is this, Berean? Let's get KJV. That's right, it starts in the same hour, 13. Revelation 11 and 13. And the same hour was there a great, that's great. It starts with an earthquake, a great earthquake. And the 10th part of the city. What city? Babylon, the great city. That's great. What city? Babylon the Great? America. All 10 FEMA regions. What happened to America? It fell. Babylon is falling. Is fallen. Babylon is fallen, is fallen. How? That great earthquake. It's the end of the world as we know it. Not the end of the world as a whole, but the ruling power structure. Okay? The ruling elites are going to destroy themselves with mutually assured destruction. And this is it. The same hour was there a great earthquake, 200 million nuclear bombs, if you will, are going to destroy other parts of the world, but especially Babylon the Great, which is America. The 10th part of the city fell, right? Was completely destroyed and set on fire. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. Everyone. If you were on the ground when them nukes hit, you got burned the hell up in the great earthquake. Okay? But if you ascended up to heaven in a cloud and were saved, okay? See that? And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. What do you mean? Well, that's what happened to your boy Jesus, right? When he left the earth, right? When he left the earth, how did he leave? Well, by way of a cloud. Acts 1 and 9, and when he had spoken, who's he? As Jesus, whose name in the Hebrew is Yahushua. When he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Same thing. What is that? Second, that's, what is it? Second Thessalonians. Ain't no 4. First. 4 and 11? It's not going to let me do it, is it? First. Try it one more time. 17. Let's get in the King James. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Okay? What does it mean? Well, that means that you didn't have to get burned up by the nukes. What nukes? These nukes. Zechariah 14. And this is what's going to happen to you thumbs downers. Okay, so put your thumbs down. And this shall be the plague. Shall be the what? The plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet in that great earthquake during the end of the world as we know. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Okay, so don't receive. Come out of her. Come out of Babylon the Great, so that you receive not of her plagues. Revelation 18 and 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, meaning come up here, come up hither, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues, those nukes. And that earthquake, that's right, it starts with an earthquake. Right? That's great. What's great? Babylon the Great. And it's great that this place is going to be destroyed in mutually assured destruction. Okay? Lenny Bruce is not afraid because his ass is dead. All right? What's the name of the song? It's the end of the world as we know it. And we started off at what? Where did we start? 1 Peter. The end of all things. The end of what? End of the world as we know it. But the end of all things is at hand. It's near. Is it not? What about the food? What about the gas? Okay, what about World War III? End of all things is near. It's at hand. The sheriff is near. Okay? The end and culmination of all things is near. Be serious. Stop joking. And discipline for prayer. Sometimes it's good to go back a little. Hindsight is 2022. This is Johnny Storm at Don't Speak News, June 6th, about a week ago. All right, war updates. Russia puts more nuclear forces on alert. Its supply and repair centers in Kyiv. Okay? Here's the operative word right here. What's going to cause the earthquake? Vlad, who has more nukes than anybody else.
Russia hits Kiev with missiles. Putin warns the West on arms. Everyone, Johnny here, Don't Speak News. Let's just get right into it. Russia took aim Sunday at Western military supplies for Ukraine, launching airstrikes on Kiev that it claimed destroyed tanks donated from abroad, from countries such as Poland. And Putin warned that any Western deliveries of longer-range rocket systems would prompt Moscow to hit objects that we haven't yet struck.
He didn't warn, he threatened. That's a threat. Any Western deliveries of long-range rocket systems, I'm going to jack you up. I got more nukes than everybody. Is this going to pare down? Is this going to go away? What did the Pope say? Okay. Let's get that real quick. We're not going to watch all of
Yeah, gee, I wonder what those
We're going to watch all of this. Come
might
on,
be.
Johnny.
It says here,
Click out of that. What did the Pope say? The poop. Pope says what? Oh, Edgar Allan Poe says, P-O-P-E says, WW3 has been D. Now, who is this guy to say anything? Are you a warrior there, Pope? I know you are, but Pope Francis said Third World War in Ukraine was probably what? So that's already Pope Francis. World War III has been declared. Be ready for what is coming. 5 hours ago. World War III has been declared. Well, it seems as though the Pope has just declared World War III 18 hours ago. The last one, World War II was the big one. This is the last one. Has been declared. What's going on? 3 months ago, Brandon here says the world must strive to prevent. Nah. Okay? Let's see what this is. And who gave you the
Why did over 200...
Who gave you the authority to declare World War III?
We invite you to subscribe to Mystic Post TV on YouTube. Thank you.
Get to it.
World War III has been declared, Pope Francis said in a wide-ranging conversation with the editors of European Jesuit publications on May 19th, referring to Russia's attack against Ukraine. The conversation was published by the Italian Jesuit publication La Civiltà Cattolica and the secular newspaper La Stampa on June 14th and is sure to spark discussion.
There's the Pope's army right there. Okay, so he is a warrior, and here's his army. All right, that's all I'm going to say on that. Keep it moving.
The world is at war, he said. For me, today, World War III has been declared.
Okay, so he qualified it. For me, well, who are you? You're the false prophet. For me, today, World War III has been declared. It's as if he's pushing for it, is it not? Of course he is. He's part of the NW.
This is something that should give us pause for thought. What is happening to humanity, that we have had 3 world wars in a century? Francis spoke about the complex background to the war in Ukraine and the interests involved, including those of arms manufacturers. He denounced the brutality and ferocity of the Russian troops and praised the heroism and courage of the Ukrainian.
What about them children, though? What about them children in the Catholic Church? You ain't saying a whole lot about that.
At the same time, he said, we do not see the whole drama behind the war, which was perhaps somehow either provoked or not prevented. The Pope has faced criticism for not calling out the Russian president by name and for suggesting that perhaps NATO may have provoked the war by barking at the gates of Russia. But in the new interview, the Pope said he was quoting what one head of state had told him. Even so, Francis denied that he is pro-Putin. I am simply against reducing complexity to the distinction between good guys and bad guys without reasoning about roots and interests, which are complex, he said. While we see the ferocity, the cruelty of Russian troops, we must not forget real problems if we want them to be solved.
Now, what does this fall under the heading of? And we'll commence on this. What scripture can we pull that describes what we just saw? This guy. Let's go to Matthew. They hate Matthew, don't they? 24 and 6. Oh, what is the Pope doing? He's making prophecy come true. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. What do you mean World War III for me has been declared? Huh? There it is, jumping off the page. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Well, the Pope, the false prophet himself, is slanging out rumors. World War III has been declared for me. I'm sure you got a vested interest. Who's getting paid for them weapons? I'm sure the Vatican bought up a bunch of them weapons on the black market over there that are being sent to Kyiv, and you're distributing them to whoever's on the side of the Jesuits. Oops, did I say that out loud? All right, anyway, so good enough. See the prophecies jumping off the page? We got the Pope over here. What is this? You will hear of wars and threats of war. Vlad said, look, if you send any more missiles over there, this is not a veiled threat. It's an open threat. So we have wars and threats. We have wars and rumors. We have wars and news. Reports. This is a report. Good news. You're going to hear the noise of battles close by and the news of battles far away. All right, so with that, we hope that the elect were edified. You brothers and few sisters, with that, shalom.